Tsathoggua, aka the Sleeper of Niko, or a giant demon-faced pug monster, this foul spawn of Azathoth is variously described as a sloth-like bat beast or as an amorphous toad. Basically, Lovecraft and Clark Ashton Smith both shared the Cthulhu mythos universe, and they both had their own take on the Sleeper. As before, I'll be using a random selection of investigators. I suspect that my outrageous streak of luck won't last, so will it be the Sleeper of Niko that will spell my doom? Maybe. A bizarre lethargy has overtaken Arkham. You've traced the source of the effect to the museum. But beware, services at the entrance might cost more than you've been expecting. Personally, I blame the touts. Just try to get tickets to anything around Christmas, price gouging bastards. There's no force truly evil other than them in London. Well, okay, the bankers, and well, okay, there's a lot of evil things in London. Okay, back to the plot. Collect 13 Elder Signs before the Doom track is filled. Right, what have we got here? It looks like we've got a midnight effect. Right, at midnight, a formless spawn appears. Inky blackness. Alright, okay, so a reasonable chance of getting that. Two of a kind, basically, but best not to take too many chances. And let's see, we've got a spell for storage. So what can we do? Yeah, we keep 4 there. That means that we're only using 1 dice to do that. Why on earth did I use a yellow dice for that? As it is, we can clear this one off. 2 of a kind, of course. Increased unlikeliness. Okay, just hope I get a terror, and I've got it done. Nice. And that was worth 2 Elder Signs, so pulls me ahead, and I don't have to deal with that midnight effect, but another one's popped up there. Right, okay, Mrs. Librarian chick. I think she qualifies as a hot librarian chick, since, although you can't see much of her behind that gigantic book, she's battling formless nightmares. Right, okay. 2 of a kind and 2 of a kind, so fairly unlikely. Even with 6 dice, of course. I don't think this looks good. No, not at all. No, I'm doomed. Doomed! Done. Yeah, as ever, it's a bit of a shame it doesn't auto-fail you here, because, you know, why do you have to carry on? It could just have been fixed with a tiny bit of programming there. It would have made the game just move that tiny bit quicker, and since it's a solo game, you really want something which runs smooth and sickly. So yeah, slickly, not sickly. I'm a bit sickly, you can probably hear it on my voice, but I've got a cold. But anyway, take 2 with 2-gun Sally here. Yeah, 2-gun mojo, can't hit backside of a barn. Yes, or will she? Well, she's cleared one of them. She cleared the threat with both pistols blaring, so, right. And outrageously lucky, so, 2-gun Sally, actually did manage to hit things. Maybe she was using 1 gun, emptying it, and then the next gun. Since I don't believe anyone can actually use 2 guns to hit anything, pretty much, unless it's, like, a barn and it's in front of them. I mean, really and truly, it's not going to happen, is it? Yeah, can't say that I'm an expert on firearms. I have used them. I've also used crossbows and bows, but obviously with a bow it's totally impossible to do any 2-gun mojo, but yes, okay, here we are. The Great Hall of Galeno, which is like a gigantic otherworldly library. I can't remember where that's from. I think that might be from the Dreamlands cycle. Might be. I can't remember, to tell you the truth. Maybe people can mention that in the comments if their Cthulhu mythos knowledge is higher than mine. I read quite a lot of it a long time ago, but I really can't recall most of it now. I remember reading over the Dreamlands and stuff, though a lot of that was later work, because a lot of other authors have written in the sort of shared universe that Lovecraft created. I mean, you had Clark Ashton Smith, who was the first one there, but you've had so many after that that really and truly it's very difficult to tell what's sort of canon and what's not. There's lots of cool stuff. I mean, more recently you've got the Monster Hunter books by Larry Correia, which are definitely full of two-gun mojo, though in actual fact he's actually a firearms specialist and sort of general former. Well, he used to own a gun shop after all, and yeah, he's fairly up on all of that stuff. So yeah, if you like guns and you like monsters, pick up his books because he, writes brilliantly. I mean, when you come down to it, I mean, it's rip-roaring sort of stuff. Don't expect high literature, but really and truly, guns and monsters. Really, do I have to spell that out to you? Probably not. But yeah, I'd definitely pick up his books. Now, I'm not having too much luck here with the Great Hall, or... Oh, that looks slightly more promising. Yeah, if I clear that, that knocks that one out. I've got a fair chance of numbered things coming up. I've still got a fair number of dice out at the moment. Oh dear, this doesn't look good. But I've got a clue, so I will just engage this. Now, you notice I'm playing a little bit quicker now on my second game. Okay. And cleared. Yep, that worked well. And we even clear a doom. So we pull ahead a tiny bit more, or rather we maintain our lead of 2 Elder Signs. Okay. It is a slightly longer game with the Sleeper because yeah, he's got a longer doom track. Though you will see if he gets going on it, he will pull out like a million formless spawns, which I suppose is appropriate. I've often wondered if the formless spawns in this were actually like the genesis of all that black oil stuff in the X-Files, especially because you've got this sort of elder god type thing, running all of that, and you've got these sort of beings which can like reshape themselves and are sort of full of otherworldly malign terror. So I often wonder if, then again, I mean, so many things Lovecraft kind of, was the genesis of. I mean, when you look at all of that sort of the body of work, it's just quite incredible. Anyway, right, we're beginning to get a few nasty things coming on here because we really do not want to have us locked down here. You see that locked icon? That means one of my green dice is gone, and that's a wide effect. So yeah, I have to clear that out before you get a yellow one or any more of the green ones coming on, otherwise you just find yourself shut down. Okay, right, the next one, we've got a couple of challenge ones there. Clear that out, that's a higher probability. Now with the remainder, just store that up for the next one. Drop a tarot in there, that clears that green lock. And the next one, well, we're sport for choice really, that's the Halls of the Dead done. Yep, nicely cleared. Okay. We're still maintaining our lead quite readily. Quite handily, I should say. Yeah, now we've got our physician guy. We've got a choice. What have we got there? That's quite hard, that's slightly less hard, but it is in order, which always, it's all about the probability. If you've got one followed by another, it increases the unlikelihood of you actually getting what you need to fill that particular one at the start, especially here where you've got 2 of a kind. Right, okay, no luck there, so I'm going to use a clue to try and generate that. Okay, drop those in there, 6 chances obviously with this. Right, and any luck? No, not really. Can drop one in there, and wow, that was lucky. Okay, done. That's the repugnant tome cleared. Maybe it's 50 Shades of Grey. That is, after all, a terrible, terrible book, since it's based on Twilight, which is itself a terrible, terrible book. But both of them managed to sell like crazy, so maybe they aren't so terrible. Maybe it's my taste. But I actually think they are pretty terrible. And you see here, come forth the formless spawn. Yeah, they breed like crazy, these guys. So, yeah, unfortunate, really. Yep. Now I've got 5 monsters. That's almost all of them filled now. Or at least it will be next time this Doom track has a monster come up on it. Now all of these are fairly hard. That one's not too bad. Though, of course, with Sister Mary or whatever her name is, she can't take much physical damage, so it might be better to take a sanity one here. Maybe clear out a few of these formless spawn, which really could be in in need of good killing. Right, okay, what can we do here? Well, we've got a spell for storage, so I think probably use that, especially as it's a double one. And clear that one out, since it won't cost me any sanity to do that. And wow, done. And it's done and done. I'll just pop that into that, and pop that into that. Load of trophies for killing those off. Right, crazed writings may be written by the Mad Arab. Yes, Lovecraft, writing before the days of political correctness, is able to use such epitaphs as Mad and Arab together. Though, of course, quite a few people would probably want to use them together, but are just way too polite to say it now. Right, okay, on to the next one. Okay, prize display. Obviously the velociraptors are not so fossilised in this particular playthrough. Okay, I think we're going to... shall we use a clue? No, no real need. Got everything we want. Don't have much to store at the moment, just have to rely on getting a terror, and we've got one done. Yep, a bunch of trophies, but unfortunately yet another formless spawn appears. Every time you get rid of one, another one damn well appears. Okay, pardon me. Right, transported by magic, a midnight effect. So let's have a look at that. Okay. Oh, that is quite difficult, but we really want it cleared off. We don't want that midnight effect kicking in. Okay, what can we do here? We've got 2 lore. Or we could store one of those perhaps, or yeah, it's a bit difficult to say really. I'm having a bit of a think. Yeah, transported by magic. Right. I bet you anything this is going to open up one of those otherworld adventures in a moment, and yeah, that's cleared, which means we don't have to deal with that effect, and we get some very useful spells out of that. So it's a 2-wand Sally now, I suppose. Yep, and I was right. Yeah, there is a kind of logic in each challenge you fill tends to lead logically on to the next one opening up. Like a secret gathering trying to open a portal up, you do that challenge, very often you have another world adventure, or transported by magic you have another world adventure. Sometimes that could be sort of a tactical play where you've got a character which has like an ability which enables them to deal with sort of otherworld adventures more efficiently. There's that sort of psychic Jewish lady, which is one of the cards. She kind of looks like she's sort of crystal ball reading, sort of New York Jewish lady. That's how I kind of think of her. I don't know her name, but that's nasty. Yeah, midnight swings round. Doesn't take very long for the sleeper to really start to shut you down, though he's nowhere near as bad as Hasta for that, though he can steamroll you under a sort of, I don't know, chittering horde or oozing, slurping horde of amorphous spawn. Right, what can I buy here? Yeah, I'll buy myself a red token there. Okay, hot librarian chick, what's she gonna do? Plateau of Lang, that's not too difficult. And she does have a fair amount of physical form to sort of buff that, or stamina I should say. Okay, the Plateau of Lang. I think that's another one of those places in the Dreamlands. Yeah, those are some very weird stories, though. Anyone who has ever had, some of those incredibly vivid dreams, possibly gets more out of those than, folk which just go to sleep and kind of drop off until the morning. Yeah, especially if you ever spend any significant time in hospital, you'll probably be able to write your own Lovecraftian tale if you have the right drugs, and maybe a bit of hypoxia in there as well. Right, okay, what have we got? Yeah, that one looks probably the easiest to clear, and it gives us a few items to play with, and she can soak that damage readily enough, and it will stop a monster from appearing. Okay. Right, do we want to discard an item? There's nothing I really want to discard all that much, but maybe it does give us a significant advantage here. And she can play that for the next 3 turns in a row, and we're getting near the end of the game, so probably makes sense to start to draw on her ability a bit more. Okay, right, the next one. Okay, we've got a terror we can... oh, I didn't store that. That should have been done. Whoops. Hopefully that won't come back and bite me. Okay, here we go. I've got a fair chance. No, denied. Right, store that though. Denied again. Sometimes it does go like this. You just don't get the rolls coming through. Although you can, control the game an awful lot by picking the right ones, and that's lucky. I get a wild card. Okay, done. Okay, we met with success in the stacks, so obviously they use a fairly sensible filing system, which is a bit unique for a museum. After all, you often hear these tales of museums where they find newly discovered species which were brought back by like Victorian collectors, or Russian emigres, or visiting Prussian princes and all sorts of stuff like that. And they're occasionally sort of dug out the bottom of drawers in the museums in London and Paris and Smithsonian and all sorts of stuff like that. It's amazing what people find in museums, so this doesn't seem quite so insanely improbable as it probably would do if I didn't know about that. Okay, right, what have we got coming along here? We've got something locking down one of our greens there. It might be good to clear them out. Let's see, the graveyard, that's pretty damn difficult. Though we are so close to finishing, it might be best... But again, sometimes it just makes sense to clear off some of these nasties. Give ourselves another dice to play with. Okay, that goes down. Clears that creature off the board. We're not having much luck here, unfortunately. Okay, right. What are we going to do? Right, we've got... yes. Yeah, 2 terror done. Yeah, nicely dealt with. Okay, done. And that clears that. Takes a monster off, though you will find with Tsathoggua, or the Sleeper, as I might keep calling him, I think, because I've got no idea how you're meant to pronounce his name properly. He just completely steamrolls you with monsters, which means if you get a bunch of them attaching to a really challenging adventure, which happens to have a nasty midnight effect on it, it can be really challenging, since you often have to, take a series of hits on characters just to clear the monsters out before you have a hope of clearing the adventure. Um, so it's kind of a slow burn with him, but his end game is actually pretty tough once he's got a bunch of monsters on the board. Okay, what can we do here? We're kind of a bit shut down at the moment, but we'll burn that to get that. And can we clear that straight off? Yeah, we could do. It'd burn a lot of dice though, but it might be worth it. Yeah, I might just take out one of these formless spawn. Wouldn't hurt really. Once they're gone, they're gone. Takes down the monster, gives me a trophy. And what can I do with these? Not terribly much, so maybe a clue is in order. Yeah, play a clue. Just dump everything in there pretty much. Or maybe keep back the skull actually. Yeah, done. Okay, that clears that. That's quite difficult. I've got a fair chance of a terror coming up, and it's done. The writings on the wall for them. I highly doubt it was you were weighed in the balance and found wanting. It's probably more like or some indecipherable Cthulhuoid language which will make your ears bleed just to hear it for a second, and shatter your mind and trap you in mazes of staggering madness. Talking of mazes, that doesn't look very nice. A sanity effect each turn that can rapidly take down some team members, especially as a few of them have already taken hits to their sanity, as you'd expect, fighting these otherworldly spawn of the demon pug monster. Right, okay, and we're done with that, and that clears that midnight effect, which is good, and gives us another Elder Sign. Although we are getting more and more monsters appearing, I think we've got enough momentum to kind of carry us through to the end. Yes, okay, Sister Mary, so she can change this effect if she wants, but quite frankly I think I can survive that. Okay, right. Right. Oh no, she's the one with the ability to unlock locked glyphs, I think. You know, gardening angel. Gardening angel. Sounds like a TV show. Yeah. You know, a group of people come in and like fix your garden while you're out or something like that. Yeah, okay, what can we do here? Well, we can clear that guy. Oh, I should have done the other one. I could have cleared that. I didn't notice I had a wild card there. So I can lock one of them. That's annoying though. Right. I'm going to plonk everything which isn't the terror into that. I've got a fair chance of getting another. Oh yes, I've got a wild card again. That is lucky. And that's cleared. That's done. So, obviously didn't drown in the koi pond. Yeah, not quite sure how you get an evil koi pond. Well, I suppose the sort of formless spawn might have got in there, like the black goo from Prometheus. Well, I shouldn't probably bring that up. That was a bad movie. Terrible, terrible movie. Made no sense at all. Though it is quite funny for all the parodies which got created off the back of it. I mean, after all, anything which creates other art has to have some good in it, but I just found it to be a horribly pretentious pile of crap, really. It was boring to the extent that I nearly fell asleep while watching it, and that shouldn't happen in a horror movie. Certainly not in an Aliens movie, although some people undoubtedly say, oh no, it's a prequel, isn't it? And you go, no, it's just a terrible film. Terrible, terrible film, which shouldn't be watched. Watch the original Aliens, they're awesome. Now, unfortunately, there seems to be a bit of a sort of a communicable disease which affects certain directors, and they seem to like lose all ability to produce the goods. And it's a bit of a shame, really. Yeah, it happened to Lucas, and it has happened to others, and I wish it wouldn't happen, since Not quite sure what causes it, really. I suppose it's probably just a result of, success and maybe them just not being hungry enough to really go after it anymore. Or maybe they only had so many good ideas in the first place, or maybe they just took a heap of drugs, and in which case, well, I can forgive them, really, because if they had fun, well, you can't knock them that. I just wish they wouldn't make terrible, terrible movies off the back of it. I wish they'd retire with a degree of grace. Unfortunately, no. At least Lucas is out of the Star Wars business. Not before ruining the prequels, which never happened. They never happened. It was just a myth. That was an internet meme. It was something on 4chan. It was not something which actually happened. Especially not the whole end of the... Oh, no, don't go there. No, mustn't go there. That's like taking sanity damage. Don't take it from the Cthulhu monsters. Take it from the terrible Lucas-inspired film abortion. Right, anyway. Oh, that takes me back to Prometheus. Oh dear, I better concentrate on the game before I get truly disturbed by lackluster sequels. Right, okay, this is nearly done. I just need a little bit of luck, and it's done. Yep. City of the Great Race, the cone-shaped creatures from Cthulhu mythos, who lived in the Cretaceous and whatnot, and fought... what was it, the flying polyps or something like that? Yeah, flying polyps, which are, kind of amorphous, kind of chichinous things, which apparently don't exist in the future. And the Great Race decided to evacuate to the future to inhabit the bodies of intelligent, giant beetles, which occur after man, so... I suppose in Lovecraft's mind we all get cooked by nuclear fire and the cockroaches take over, but don't worry, the cockroaches get taken over themselves, which seems a bit of a shame after going to all that hard work of surviving the apocalypse. Seems a bit of a cheap move by the Great Race to steal their bodies. Right. I suppose a lot of Lovecraft actually ties into the whole sort of alien abduction meme, because with the Great Race, they kind of abducted your mind and then you inhabited their bodies, and certain people would kind of recall the events which happened to them while they were kind of wandering around in the distant past as a member of the Great Race while they were inhabiting your body and sort of researching us. They keep these great big libraries and whatnot. I didn't have any luck there. A sloth unfortunately got me. I really don't have much to do though so far. I just hope that he doesn't start to build up on me. Right, that's not too bad. That mythos effect was very, very lucky. I just need an Elder Sign, or is it 2? I think it's 13 Elder Signs I need. So if I can clear this one off, I'm pretty close to finishing. Yeah, okay, oh, that's good. Good luck. And, right, okay, into the next bit. Right, burn a clue. It's worth burning things, or, I suppose it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, that one's done. So close. Must finish before he manages to whip out a load of formless spawn and swamp me. Right, okay. Yeah, that would finish it. I should have tried that one last turn actually, since that would have got me the win in one go if I'd had a bit of luck. All of these look nightmarishly hard. That one looks totally easy. That one is quite nasty if you fail it, but it's pretty easy in terms of what you need. Yeah, if I win this one, I'm done. That's a healing stone. I thought that was one of those monster removal doofers you get. Right, okay, I can clear that chap off, or I can clear this. I think I cleared that. Okay. Yeah, burn a clue, because if I get this one I win, so it's worth burning whatever I've got to tip it into my favour. Right, okay, and one challenge done and done. Success. Got some nice swag out of that, but it doesn't matter since I win. Yes, and there goes the Elder Sign, with everyone standing around in a circle trying not to get arrested by the police for public, well, graffiti and probably what people would see as demon summoning. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed the show, and subscribe if you want to avoid this happening to you, because as you will see in the next little short, this could well happen to you if you don't subscribe and pay careful attention to the tips and tricks found in this show. And I didn't think I allowed it to go on quite this long, and it will come up in a minute. Nice little graphic for you to remember. Right, okay, here we go. Yes, this could happen to you, so don't let it happen to you. Subscribe to the show and join us on the next Elder Signs, Niko versus Cthulhu Abominations.